Yes, sir.
Michael Bracken, 12 Tinker Drive, Windsor. I have a handout to pass up for, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
The letter that I'm passing out is directed to all three selectmen, but I'm asking for a written response. I'll pass this to the town attorney without any objection. Basically what this is I had previously done an FOI request pertaining to the Sarfatti evaluation that was done of me. And I received a response from the town of Windsor saying that the town of Windsor had spent over $20,000 for Sarfatti's evaluation on me. And along with that, that Kevin Deneen had also submitted a bill for over $20,000, especially in regards to me, regarding my case with respect to Sarfatti. Being that the town charter says that any expenditures over $10,000 needed to be approved by the Board of Finance in the town meeting, I was under the question of whether or not there was ever an approval or an appropriation that was ever done. I had spoken to several people from the Board of Finance and I had heard stories either way. One saying yes, another saying no. So I didn't know what to do. I went and I talked to a couple of people and they had suggested checking the minutes of the Board of Finance. I went through the minutes of the Board of Finance. I was unable to find anything in the minutes of the Board of Finance. I then went to the Board of Finance director and I spoke to her and she suggested doing an FOI request through her. I went and I did an FOI request through Barbara Bertrand. It was forwarded to the town attorney and I received a response on my FOI request from Barbara Bertrand, and I find that Chief Suchocki never did an appropriation for the extra money that he spent from the town in any way, shape, or form. He never requested any transfer of funds, he never requested any appropriation of funds for the money that he spent on the Sarfatti examination or the extra money that he paid Kevin Deneen. The Barbara Bertrand also sent me a copy, it was part of my request, a copy of the town charter. I didn't attach a copy of the town charter here, I'm sure there's enough copies in this building. But according to the town charter, I copied a couple of statutes on the back last page. And according to the statute, there's a way that the appropriations have to be done. And they have to be followed. And being that the chief didn't follow them, there is a penalty for that. And it falls under section 808 of unauthorized expenditures. And the bottom line is that it says that any person willfully violating the provisions of this shall be prosecuted by the town of Windsor Locks, meaning that the town of Windsor Locks has no other choice but to prosecute Chief John Suchocki for misappropriation of funds from the town of Windsor Locks for spending $40,000 of town money without town appropriations or approvals from the Board of Finance or the town meeting. So therefore, I request that the town take the appropriate action and pursue charges against Chief Suchocki for misappropriation of funds from the town. And I also request that they begin an immediate audit of his records, financial records from 2007 and 2008, as well as his asset forfeiture accounts, because I know for a fact that he spent money out of asset forfeiture that was improper, being that he used money out of asset forfeiture for canine veterinarian bills. That is illegal according to the standards that are set by the state of Connecticut in asset forfeiture. So therefore, the chief has been, along the way, has been spending money inappropriately that belongs to the town of Windsor Locks. So here's $40,000, and I understand now that we're up to almost $80,000 that he initiated along with Kevin Deneen. So I think that the town should also look into whether or not they renew its contract with Kevin Deneen, because Kevin Deneen, I'm sure, is aware of the town charter and what the provisions are as far as whether or not he appropriates money when he's lining his pockets and filling his bank account at his law firm. The other thing is that, Mr. Warwick, I know that you're aware of it because you called me directly on my phone regarding another situation regarding my retirement fund. The chief and Mr. Deneen have been messing around with my retirement for 10 years. You called me and you apologized to me. You told me, you don't remember calling me and apologizing to me, telling me that Deneen and Suchocki had done it all on their own, that you had no knowledge of it? They had not.
It's public input, keep talking.
It's public input, right?
No, you're asking me questions, I didn't know if you were looking for a response.
I am.
Well, it's public.
But what I'm saying is that you turned around and you called me up and you apologized to me, but yet you left Kevin Deneen in charge of everything. Here's the man that was involved in it, and my attorneys are preparing another lawsuit against this town because you owe me over $100,000 in my retirement fund. And you're gonna get sued again. I don't understand it. And the thing is that you could have rectified this. You're the boss. Why is Kevin Deneen calling the shots? I don't understand it. It's time to get some balls and do your job.
Any other public input?
I would just like to say if Michael Bracken's accusations are correct, that I would encourage the Board of Selectmen to move forward in the audit of the budgets when Chief Suchocki was in charge, and if Kevin Deneen is complicit with it, I would suggest that he be terminated as the town labor attorney. And that was from William Russo, 407 Elmwood Drive, Windsor, Connecticut.
Any other public input? Yes, sir.
Nolan Hamilton, 41 South Elm Street, Windsor Locks, Connecticut. I'm here in attendance this evening because this is Denise's last Board of Selectmen meeting. And I want to recognize her for all of the effort that she's put into this position. Serving many years, and I've forgotten exactly how many now. But you are very fortunate to have served on this board and to have done so very effectively.
Thank you, Mel. I do feel fortunate. Thank you.
And I'd like to thank you too, Denise.
Thank you.
Me also.
Thank you, Michael.
Great job.
Thank you, Harlan.
Anyone else, public input? Okay, moving on. Approval of the October 1st, 2013 regular meeting minutes. I look for a motion for their approval.
Make a motion that they be approved as submitted. You have to do what you want.
Yeah, I was in here.
Oh, okay. I'll second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
So moved. One
Abstain.
abstention. Correspondence? No, there isn't. Moving on to new business, you have correspondence, but it's an action item. From the Colvest Group, it's an annual occurrence for the use of the parking facility or the parking lot over at the upper CBS complex. I look for a motion to adopt that
Did we approve this in place?
every year.
Flip to the next page. The next page.
Okay, thank you. I move to abate the real estate tax bill for,
Sure.
for Colvest Windsor Locks LLC, in the amount of $3,609.84 for property on Oak Street.
Second.
And that's just, that's so that the senior center has the use of the facility. That's the purpose of this abatement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Yes.
So moved. Appointments, reappointments, resignations. There's,
Those just came in.
they
this
just came in
afternoon.
this afternoon. I saw them in the little box there. There's letters of resignation from Michael Russo, from the Ethics Study Committee, the, I don't have the other one, it's the EIDC, and the Paul Hamilton from the alternate position on the planning and zoning.
Move to accept the resignations as defined.
With regret, and thank you for your service.
In a second.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And yes, thank you for your service. I won't see future service. The next item is tax refunds.
Motion to approve the tax refunds for November 19th, 2013 in the amount of $68,561.22.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? So moved. Selectmen comments?
I'd like to thank Denise for her 10 years of service to the town of Windsor on this board, and many years prior to that, for finance. It's been an honor and privilege working with you. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you, Dennis.
Best wishes.
Thank you. I plan to stay actively involved on as many levels as I can, but I'll miss serving on this board, and I'm really appreciative to the people who voted for me over 5 terms, and look forward to serving again in as many capacities as I'm voted in for, I guess.
Well, we know of two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Future.
Yes.
Future.
Yes, and I too, I know we've been on different sides of the aisle and different opinions over the years, but in all fairness, you know, as a board, we work for the town. You did a great job over the 10 years, you know,
Thank you.
guiding different projects through, and do thank you for your service.
Mayor,
Okay, with that, I look for a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Are you eligible for pension?